Thank you all for coming. We are going to be doing lightning talks with the cohort members. I think there's 9 of them presenting. This is just a way for them to kind of wrap up what they've done here during the program and over the course of it and talk about things they're excited about. Each person is going to talk for 5 to 8 minutes with 10 to 20 slides, and then the next person will cycle over. So it'll be very fast, very informal, and then after each person gives their thing, there's time for 2 questions to each person. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask them.
Hello, my name is Mikayla Magee. I'm an artist and visual designer. I've been creating for about 4 years, and I'm originally from Garland, Texas, and now I currently reside in West Dallas. And so I went to Texas State University and got a degree in communication design. And my time at the Cedars Union has kind of created or turned me into a multidisciplinary artist. I wasn't that before, I was just a painter, and painting is boring. I'm gonna jump on that train too. And a lot of my work is about like introspection, individuality, and growth, and at times like duality that exists in just like human nature. And so to start, I'm just gonna get into the swirls, because I feel like a lot of people ask, like, what is that in the work? And so I just wanna talk about like where that stems from first before I get into like the evolution of the work since I've been here at the Cedars. And so it kind of shows up around the figures as, you know, framing the figures, and then just kind of like an overlay recently. And it's something that started like when I was like very young. My grandmother had this like Victorian style furniture where you would see this like curvilinear shape like in everything, like the coffee table, the chairs, the couch, china cabinet, and it was all in this room that nobody was really allowed to be in, especially like her grandchildren, definitely not allowed to be in there unsupervised. And so I just remember seeing that when I was learning to draw. I would just kind of replicate what I saw a lot, and that ended up being the thing that stuck. And like that picture in the left corner there, that's like me in like school when I'm supposed to be taking notes from somebody's lecture, and I'm just like going crazy with these swirls, and then like me like engraving this into my mom's spoons, and then I was like running around the house like trying to find other things I can like engrave these swirls on, and follow me into high school and just, you know, everywhere else. And so when I got to Cedars Union, I was kind of at the point where I was trying to like figure out how to evolve the way that I use them, because I wanted to keep them. They're like very sentimental, mean a lot to me. And this is like one of the first pieces that I was working on when I got here in December, titled Becoming, and it's about like the journey from like obscurity to visibility and how that's like weird. And this piece was selected to be a part of Women in Art Fair in London in October of this year, and it actually didn't make it to London. It got stuck in customs for like a month and a half, so yeah. But I still went, I had fun, but the work did not make it there. And but it was still a huge accomplishment for me to be able to be selected and to be a part of that show. And then it was also a part of the Cohort 4 show that we had over the summer. Oh, sorry. So this was like the beginning of me like evolving the swirls and kind of like overlaying it instead of having it like around the figure and stuff like that. And so I kind of continued on doing that, created these works, which were like initially studies, and I wasn't going to finish them. And then I got an opportunity to exhibit work at Harlem Fine Arts Show in New York. And so I was like, I guess I should probably finish these. And so I kind of created these portraits, and then just kind of Lavender, this piece here, and was able to show those for that show. And then after that, I took a break from creating for myself to do a book illustration, which was honestly a headache. I underestimated how much work it was, and it took me like 3 months to do this children's book, working with an author from like Garland, Texas. And like she's been a teacher for so many years, and this is like her next act. So this was like her first book. She was able to write and illustrate and getting it published currently. So I was happy to be a part of that. And the Cedars Union definitely helped me out here, because I within the first couple of months that I was at the Cedars Union, I went to one of the talks about like contracts and legal stuff. And so this definitely came in handy when working on this project, so that I was like protecting myself and doing things the correct way. And so I was working on that project and I wasn't like creating work for myself. I had these like shapes in my head, you know, the shapes that have been here since I've been 10 or whatever. And I didn't see them on a canvas this time. They were kind of just floating and I didn't know like how I was gonna bring that to life. But I had just taken like the intro to wood course with Matt. And it took me forever to get into the wood shop, honestly. Like I was afraid, not of like the being hurt in there or anything, but just like of breaking the tools. So I wasn't afraid of it breaking me, but like, you know. And so I was like often asking Matt for advice. And I remember like the bag for the dust collector fell one time just out of nowhere. And I'm like taking a picture. I was like, Matt, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do. I was like, was it me? So yeah, it was fun. But I'm glad that I was able to do that. And I wouldn't have had, you know, the opportunity to do this without the Cedars Union or know that this was like an interest of mine. So I'm happy to have the access. And so, yeah. And then after that, the Cedars Union, I think it was on Slack at the time, they posted a workshop for murals, and it was led by Marissa Michaud, I think she goes by. And so I partnered with my friend Jay, and we were able to create this mural at the Four Oak Cliff Community Center, which was like a really dope experience to be around the kids. And they were like so nosy, and they were just like asking so many questions, and they're very honest. So if it sucked, like they would tell you, and they did. And then after that, I had the opportunity to do the live painting at the Dallas Zoo with other cohort members, Dora, and Kat was there also. So that was really fun, and the elephants were very, very cute. And then this is the next thing that I worked on after doing that mural. And this kind of sat in my brain for a very long time. Again, like just like the marination process of like, how do I do this, or like, what is this gonna be? And when I finally started on it, I realized that I was kind of taking inspiration from a younger version of me. A lot of the work that I created was very abstract, very colorful. And that's kind of the state of mind I was in when I started working with wood. It was like fun. Like I didn't realize that I was so bored with working on canvas. And so I kind of went back to that like mind state. And these are fingerprints. And this was just a series about like individuality and identity and how everyone's like very unique. And so that's what that was. And then next I was able to be a part of the Deep Ellum musical garden that we just wrapped up like last week. And I painted Cameron McLeod, who's a member of the band Cure for Paranoia. And so yeah, this is my second mural, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without the first one, which I got that opportunity through the Cedars Union. So yeah, I think that's the last slide. Yeah. Any questions?
What are the next steps for you?
I'm not too sure. Well, I do have a studio space at Noise and Nostalgia. I'll be moving there like January, February-ish. So that's next. Thank you.